So hello and welcome back to Taking Terminal. I'm Steve and we are back in Leekington Lakes, and I'm just looking at, I think some kind of update has happened which has turned all my signs upside down. Not sure why, but I'm just going to fix that quickly. I also have noticed that one of the issues since the last update, you now need to go around and basically check your ride pricing. When I started the game, everything seemed fine. Then all of a sudden, no one was on my rides anymore. They all disappeared. Like, they're just walking around and all the rides are empty. There were lots of people walking up to the queue line and then not going on. And that was because I had to basically change this. So I had to go to, like, premium and back to bargain. And I seem to have to do that every time I load the game for every ride, or they won't go on. So I'm not sure what's going on there. A little bit bizarre. So yeah, we're back to where we started, up at near the Rudyard Railway, and you can see that it's actually quite a popular attraction still, even after all these years. Well, after all these days. I think, what day are we on now? It does say somewhere, day 21. So, you know, a fair bit of time has been spent on this map. I'm going to add a new attraction just here, and I did see this on the workshop. I'm just going to place it because it just fits the area perfectly, and that is oh, where is it? It's if I can find it, it's under coasters. There we go. We've got a Wacky Worm, which I just think would be fitting in here spot on. So I'm just going to place that next to our train just over here. Whoever's made this has done a fantastic job. It just fits like perfectly into what I'm looking for, particularly for this section of the park. And I think that, you know, a Wacky Worm would go, just don't touch the apple. You might get a bit of a shock. So we'll just get that connected up now. And anywho, the last couple of episodes were a little bit brief due to me being at Blackpool Pleasure Beach last weekend, and it was actually quite good. Unlike last year, where there was a few problems, I think that they had a really good opening day. Lots of availability. The rides are open. The big one was open, which, you know, to be fair, sometimes it's not their fault at this time of year because of the weather conditions can be not great in Blackpool. As you know, it can be a little bit windy there. But yeah, it was a lovely day, and it's kind of given me a bit of inspiration for what I want the next area of the park to be like. I'm just trying to get that connected up. I kind of want to tidy this up a little bit, but we'll just get this open. I just wanted to put in a plop-in coaster. So this is using the Intamin multi-dimension coaster. You got your 13 trains there. And one of the things with Planet Coaster, especially in Planet Coaster 2, is you don't always have to build your own creations to get what you want, because sometimes other people do what you really want for the park, but they do it better. So I will link this in the description so you can download this for your own park if you like. I think it's brilliant. You know, it just fits the vibe of this area of the park just perfectly. So I don't really see the point in me spending the time building one when there's someone's already done it and done it really well. So Hats off to them. Fantastic job. So I've opened that up. I'm sure people will come flooding to that, but today we're not focusing on the Wacky Worm, unfortunately. We're going to head over in this direction. Over towards the entrance of the park now. We've got people walking down here now towards the Viking area, people walking down here towards the wooden coaster and Rudyard Lake. But no one's walking down here, so I think it's about time that we build something in this area. And what am I thinking? Well, as I said earlier, I've been to Pleasure Beach recently. I had a really good time, and I think that it'd be really good to add a few attractions in this area in like a compact amusement park style. And that's what we're going to do. And I'm thinking of starting off with a flat ride. And I'm thinking to go for, controversially, Skyforce. Or something like Skyforce that's at Pleasure Beach. Which has actually been confirmed to be removed. And I thought, you know what? How good would this look being placed right next to a pathway? I'll just turn the angle snap off there so I can kind of get it exactly where I want it. Having this positioned in such a way it's right next to the path, and it kind of goes over the pathway. I just thought that would look really cool, so that's what I'm doing. I'm putting it there. So we have got these like arrows here, kind of show. I think it's meant to be kind of like a runway as such, but I think that'd be quite good to have the entrance just here, and have the exit at the other end of that. There we have it. I'm not going to have fast pass on this attraction. I don't think it would be fair to have it with... We all know it's a very low capacity attraction. It doesn't take many people at a time. So yeah, I'm gonna pass on putting fast pass on that. But I'm thinking of initially... I've got these proc sensors for my coasters to add in as well. So that'd be quite good. I just thought, you know what, they're pretty cool, so it'd be quite cool to add those in key points. I do want to try and do a bit more customer supporting with my coasters. I'm not very good at it, and I think practice makes perfect. So I do have a few attractions that I can kind of add in here as a temporary basis, just to start getting people down to this area of the park. And I did make is that mine? Where is mine? I did make one. Here we go. I built this. This is available on the workshop. I'm sure you remember me building it. I thought maybe something like this might fit in quite well in this park over here, potentially. I do like this one that someone's built. I'm going to showcase it. I don't know if I'm going to put it in yet, but this is basically the black hole that used to be at Towers. And it's such a cool looking coaster. Like the attention to detail is amazing. I just have to give it a mention. But yeah, you can see the spiral there. And yeah, I might add that. I might add that as a dark ride potentially somewhere going forwards, because I really like what they've done with it. I think they've done a great job of just building a great looking Schwarzkopf classic. So anywho, that is not for today. I'm going to focus on what I am doing today, which is building a spinning roller coaster. Where am I going to put it? I don't know. I haven't really thought that far through. But we are going to have to fit quite a lot in a very small space. So I've got to kind of keep in mind I need it to be compact. I need a compact coaster. So I am looking for... Oh, where is it? That's not the one I'm looking for. Actually, do we actually have them in the game? We might not have them. I'm looking for the Namara spinning type. I don't think I've built one in Planet Coaster 2. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore. Ooh. What I can do though, we have got plenty of research points, so I'll go into the research and just check if we've unlocked everything coasters. We haven't. We have got more. To be fair, we can unlock all these now. There we go. There it is. We've got loads of points, so we might, to be fair, I'm just going to unlock everything at this point. We've got enough research points for everything we want, so we might as well have it all available. So I think that is all our research done. Yep, that's everything. So we do have the Mara spinning coaster. I'm glad we have that, because I did want that. I was getting a little bit nervous and thinking, oh no, if he cut it from the game. So, how are you going to do this, Steve? I think what I'm going to do is using this stamp tool, I'm going to build underneath the station where we can have a space for a restaurant as such. So I'm just going to put in a couple of shops just to gauge the height of what those are going to look like. So I'll put a custom shop in. And this is just so I know how high I need to build the spinning coaster, so I don't interfere with. I might put in an older wooden, older style wooden coaster in as well, to be fair, but that won't be today. I've lost it. Where was that spinning? There we go. I do wonder if you can have like onload and offload stations. I know you can have onload offload stations, but I don't know how well that would work with a spinning coaster, because one of the issues with the spinning coaster is you can't get people on and off quick enough. So that might be something we want to look into doing. Okay, that sounds like a plan actually. So let's edit the coaster and put in a, if it'll let me, come on, there we go. Let's put in just a bit of track. Actually, we'll build a bit more station. And then I want to put in, well, why is it not letting me? I'll put a lift hill in, that'll do. It seems to be a little bit finicky on what it's willing to let me do at the moment. So we'll put in that, and then here we want unload. That's huge. Is that as small as it'll go? Apparently so. Okay. We'll build that one there. Then I can go back at least 2. Oh, my car fell off. Oh dear. And then we'll put in our onload station here and do the same. Do I want, you know what, I'm thinking it might be worth just putting a block section there. There we go. So we have hopefully an efficient onload and offload station platform there. And I think one of the key things that I really want with this particular area is to have it a little bit more immersed with the pathway. So having the coaster kind of come out and over the path. It doesn't have to go like right over it, but just so it's kind of just something a little bit more interesting. So how are you going to do that, Steve? Are you going to Let's go like that, and like that, and let's see if we can do something with this. Oh, undo. I want that. I'm trying to think of like the best way of getting this to come out. Like, we're gonna need a lot of throughput, so I think we go like that. Put in a block, and then have very slight. Be something like just check that that's actually going to make it round now. Hopefully the downhill will be enough for it to roll itself and not get stuck. Could go down a little bit steeper just to add a little bit of a quicker. What I'm thinking here is we can have it come through what is going to be like a restaurant of sorts, so I don't mind if the banking's a little bit off because it makes it a little bit more interesting. We'll put in the block section there and the chain lift going up. So they are quite steep, these Mara lift hills. They're usually about 30 degrees, so a little bit steeper than the standard kind of roller coasters. So I am going to kind of show that with this. I'm going to have that as the height. And here we're going to unlock the spin. I'm just wondering if I can kind of get that just a little bit. Don't it too crazy. I'm also not sure how much speed it's going to lose, like whether it'll make it up to there. So it will be interesting to see if it makes it all the way up to that height. Which it does. That's good. That's probably about the right speed I'd want it to go into that as well. So we'll add a block section there. So I'm gonna just try and get that on a slight slope downwards. One thing I would like to know is if you can use some of these as block sections, because on the wooden coaster you can, on the older wooden coaster, but I don't think you can for the steel coasters. I think you need to use one of these block sections. What I'm going to do is just add in a, which one's cheaper? There we go. So we've got the block section in there. It's quite a tall spinning coaster, this one. I'm hoping here I can kind of use the building structure for some of the supporting for the spinning coaster. It seemed to be going quite fast there, so I'm just going to see like how far up it can get, particularly on this section. I don't think it'll make it up to that 62. Well, in theory, it shouldn't do. Okay, that's good. Do the same again, just with a friction brake and block brake. The key when you're building these kind of coasters is, especially when they're only seating 4 people at a time, you need to get like as many cars as possible on it, and I'm building it in a relatively realistic way. So that's why there's so many blocks. Like you don't have much distance between each block section. The other thing we need to check is, will it make it if we change this release speed? As normally it will just go straight through, but if it does stop for some reason, I just want to make sure it's going to restart again. The amount of times that I've built a coaster, then found that, oh, it's not working anymore, it's all stopped and you're losing money, and it's purely because the basically the block section hadn't been set up correctly. So we'll pop that on there. Okay. Yeah, so that has stalled. But what we can do, we can increase that release speed. Do I want to? I don't know. Thinking to myself here. Let's edit this coaster. And I'm going to lower the height of that just a little bit. And that should help it. And if I smooth that out just a little bit as well. That should also help with the speed of the coaster going through. I'm just wanting to add a few bunny hops in. Again, I'm just going to chuck in a little brake run here. I will change these so it's not going to be as slow once the testing's done. It's just to make sure that the train's always going to come back. Probably take that a little bit higher, actually. I do want to try and maximize as much height as possible. So while we're waiting for that to come over, I'm just going to continue with the layout a little bit. Go down this way. So it didn't make that. So we'll stop the testing there. I didn't quite see how far off that was, but we can. We can lower it down just like that, so. We can use the smooth tool just to bring that bit down as well. There we go. I'm gonna start building backwards from station now, just to get in our blocks for the cars. I'm gonna put in the. Actually, I'm gonna leave that a second. I think if you put it in backwards, it makes it play up a little bit. So it's gonna put a normal section track in. Block. Trim. And then, hopefully, I'm hoping that will work. And here, I'm just going to put in that lock. I kind of wanted a bit of a low point over here, so there's something for people to kind of get close to and look at. I do quite like having coasters where you can see around, just see them close by. I'm just looking now to make sure it's going to make it all the way around, and I'll change these brakes to allow the car to go a little bit faster. I'm just looking to see. They're both lock spinning, so I'm going to change that into a block section. Cool, right. It's stalled. Oh no. Okay. Let's change these so they're going to be correct now. So the acceleration, I reckon we want about 5 mile an hour going through these. And that one, probably speed of 5 miles per hour on that. And here, 5 mile an hour, and the target speed is also 5, and that's 5, so it's cool. And this one, quite a fun looking coaster to be fair. Didn't really give that as much of a push as I was hoping. Let's just stop that test again. How long does it take to build a spinning coaster? Clearly quite a long time. Right, so spinning coaster, right. I was hoping you were going to give a bit of a shove to the core going off there. So if we start the test again, hopefully that will change. So the issue is that this is flat going into the station, as the stations have to be flat. So that transition from a slight angle going down, I think it's like 2 or 3 degrees going down, to flat, and it's just stalling there. To be fair, once the core is centered, we can actually. Oh, you can only place the you can have like a kick wheel, but really you want it nice and slow coming through this section while it does its rotation to lock the core. And then it doesn't really matter if it speeds up afterwards, but that would be about here, I think. So what I'm going to need to do is, I think we can probably chuck more cores on, to be fair. So let's go into block section mode and add our trains. So we've got 7. The idea is, because we've only got the onload here, we can chuck I'm hiding behind the trees here. We can have this just wait here until the block's clear, then send this one straight out. I'm hoping by doing this means we're going to have like a constant flow of cores on the track, so it's going to look quite interesting to watch, which I feel is more important for a coaster, in particularly in Planet Coaster. And it's kind of why I shy away from dark rides a little bit, because you build an amazing dark ride and then you never get to see it because it's inside a building. And I do like watching my rides going around, so... So at the moment, the timing of this seems to be pretty perfect. Might just have an issue on this last section. So it comes around here. I have a feeling it might not clear the block in time for this one. No, so it did briefly stop, so... It's all about block timings. So we're going to have to edit the coaster, and it wasn't by much. I reckon if we have that to 4, and the release speed of this is 2, let's increase that to 3. Have that at 5. That should help. Let's speed that up so the cars come around, just so I can check it again. Don't know what's happened here. The block system's gone out the window, it seems. Oh, the cars are they're gonna get stuck. Oh no, okay, right. That's not good. There we go. That's much better. So that's clear now for that one to go through. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We would have 6 because there'd be another one over here, but they've got stuck here. So we'd have plenty of cars running. So let's just stop that a second. I think we can fix this. We can put in some drive tyres there. And that should fix it. I think it's because when you use these offload stations, it doesn't recognise this block until like a full cycle's been completed. So it just keeps chucking the cars. As you can see here, it's just chucking the cars straight through. There we go. Bump. Oh dear. I don't know why, it's just when you do it this way, it doesn't recognise them. There goes another one. I hope these continue. Okay, I think it's okay. Oh dear, let's just see. I want to make sure this does continue to run. And if it does, we'll take a ride. Well, I could probably do a bit of smoothing, to be fair. I'll do that quickly before we take a spin. I think we're good. I think we're all good. Awesome. And I anticipate a few delays with the loading of unloading of these cars, so it does make it round now though. That needs speeding up. That's still too slow. What's the station speed? 8.9, okay. So really, this wants to be about the same. So that wants the release speed of being relatively quick. Right. That should work now. Okay, so they're going in at about the right speed. These cars are moving along. Cool, right. There we have it. So, that is pretty good. So, let's just gonna smooth this out a little bit because it does look a little bit crazy. There we go. Right, let's take a spin. So there we have it, a new spinning coaster in our park. So if you've enjoyed this episode, please give a thumbs up and feel free to comment. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.